Okay, I'm doing a wrap up here of the AT-10 video. I'm gonna list off some specs, and then play a couple tracks, and maybe I kind of gave it a review already, but I'll just give a couple more thoughts on it. Um, like I said before, it has a tweeter that varies from the AT-12 and AT-15. This one is a Mylar dome tweeter, and they use this tweeter for a lot of stuff. They use this in three-way car audio like enclosures that were like prefab in-house at Cerwin Vega. And then they used it for this AT-10, and they also used it in the AT-8. The AT-8 has an 8-inch woofer with no mid-range, and then just the Mylar dome tweeter. The AT-10 is a 6-ohm speaker, where I'm almost positive. I'll have to look it up again, but the AT-15 was a I believe 4-ohm, and I believe the 12 was as well. The power handling is listed between 5 to 125 watts maximum. They could, I don't know, they could handle more than that, but you might damage it after a while. I mean, I have it hooked to a 150 watt receiver, or not receiver, I'm sorry. Right now it's hooked to that Yamaha MX2. That's 150 watts a channel. I've only got this one hooked up right now. I don't have a pair of them hooked up. Its sensitivity is 95.5 dB, so really, fairly efficient, especially for a speaker with a 10-inch woofer in it. There was a test. There's a review online from like when these first came out. I believe they came out in '89. I believe they lasted through around '95, maybe a little bit later than that. And they actually got more output. They got 123.2 SPL out of this, or dB out of this speaker. One of these, but they said it took them 595 watts to do it, so they were beating on them pretty hard. They can handle a lot. You can abuse these things pretty good. Cerwin Vega made a pretty durable product at the time. Some people have said that the digital or D series, those cabinets were built a little bit better, but I mean people just don't seem to take care of a lot of these. This set was really good. You'll find really nice sets, but some people, I don't know, they call them kind of frat speakers. They used to be kind of party speakers, and what people consider them as. And, before I did this video, I was kind of doing a listening, and I still have a clips chorus on the right channel, and then this is on the left channel. Right now I have it faded only to this, so you won't be hearing the clips, but side by side, it was not a good performer. If you have just these hooked up, they're a good sounding speaker. I enjoy them, but boy, it really pointed out. It really made a drastic difference when you kind of do a side by side comparison of the two. It's not really a fair comparison. I mean, I don't know what they originally went for. I know the AT-15 they were roughly the same price. I think those were about $500 a piece, and then the clips choruses were, I think if you get a good deal on them, they were like, I see a lot of people had bought them for around $550, and I've seen all the way up to $650 a piece. So they were a bit more expensive, but really, I would say in the same class. But this is a lot different. The AT-15 has 2 mid ranges, and then has an upgraded tweeter, and the AT-12 has an upgraded tweeter, but still has the 1 mid range. So I mean, this shouldn't be a direct comparison to that. AT-15 will be a much better comparison, or a D9. Or RE38s from Cerwin Vega. Those are pretty nice. The VS, which those are really nice sounding speakers. I would say, to me, that would probably be the smoothest of all those ones I listed. Those were all the big dogs from Cerwin Vega. But yeah, I have this AT-10 and that D5, and I'll play that. That would hold up better with the clips, just because of the larger driver. Anyway, I'll go ahead and play a couple tracks real quick, and we'll just see this thing, that 10-inch throw a little bit. Play something I figure won't be the first time ever played on a Cerwin Vega AT-10. Some old school MC Breed on there. It ain't a game, it's plain to see. You listen to the sounds of Breed.
hero. And if you ever do, yo, it never be with me, yo. Swerve it in the Cherokee, or maybe it's a Geo. Back on Black Benz, so we'll get it up for me, yo. Never have to worry about my posse getting jumped. Cause if we ever do, yo, TV pop the
Anyway, so that was a little bit of just showing a little of the flex. They can throw quite a bit. That wasn't this thing maxed out. But you know, I do have neighbors. I have this set fairly more flat than it was, I think, in my last video. But I will throw on some rock, which to me is where these really shine. You know, they're not highly detailed, but I like them, and they're fun to listen to. You know, and like I said, if you like bass and you know, kick drum, heavy, you know, rock, there's a lot worse choices you could make. But I don't want to play too much because I don't want to get like flagged for copyright, but I just want to get to somewhere I think it'll sound interesting. I had to pick a song with like a 10-minute intro. But anyway, here we go. Yeah, it's actually not a very good. I'm just playing videos off of YouTube. It's not the best way to go about trying to get a good signal to the speakers, but it sounded pretty good. Really good actually on the rock. And then, you know, that other track wasn't the best either. If I, you know, played some vinyl or you know, hooked up you know, one of my CD decks or something, I think, you know, might get a little better fidelity. But really, that's where these clips are so nice. Unless the audio you're feeding it is total garbage, because they will show you that. So I mean, but they are forgiving. It's weird. It's like they're forgiving until they're not, and then it becomes very apparent problems in the mastering of an album. I mean, if that album's production is not high quality, they'll kind of point it out. These are a little, I don't know. I think maybe you can get away with a little less production value with AT-10, because they aren't very detailed. I think the mid range to me is the weak point, and the Mylar Dome does break up at really high volume. But I mean, that 10-inch, I have no complaints on its low end output, and how it sounds. It's got a really smooth sounding low end to it. Excellent low end to them. I really like the sound of them. Cerwin Vegas, they are different depending on which one you get. But you know, from the different series, the D series, RE, VS, or is it LS? I'm trying to think what it is. And then they have a whole bunch of different ones that you know, they all have a little variation on them, but they kind of, I think they had a pretty distinct Cerwin Vega sound to them, just like the Klipsch's do. I mean, a Klipsch sounds like a Klipsch. All the different sizes and stuff, yeah, it changes, but you can see that they were going after a very specific sound, that was their target. So they were kind of doing, you know, every company, you know, and some companies will sound similar to the other ones, but I think Cerwin Vega and Klipsch both have a pretty distinct sound that, if you know, you'll see people, if they're a fan of that, they're going to be a diehard fan of that brand, because it does, it's pretty unique. And that's going to be it for the AT-10.